Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unravel a classic sci-fi tale. It's all about a desperate mission through time that collides with a terrible destiny, and it all hinges on one single choice that could rewrite everything. So let's start with that iconic opening, the one that promised audiences a journey from the inner mind to the outer limits. It really sets the stage perfectly for one of the series' most profound stories about paradox and sacrifice. Okay, so our story kicks off way back in 1963. We meet an astronaut, Joseph Rearen, who's on a solo mission. He's a pioneer, out there in the vast loneliness of space, just expecting a pretty routine re-entry. But, of course, something goes terribly wrong. Rearen goes through what the show calls a time convulsion. And yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. It's this violent jolt that just hurls his ship and him into a future he was never ever supposed to see. So when he finally wakes up, he finds himself on an Earth that is, well, it's both familiar and just horrifyingly alien. This is definitely not the home he left behind. Turns out, he's jumped nearly 200 years into the future. One of the survivors he meets tells him no one has left or returned to Earth in almost 200 years. The year is 2148. And what he finds is just a dying world. He meets a mutated human who explains that they're the last survivors. Humanity has been rendered sterile, totally unable to reproduce. There is no future. All that's left is memory. Now, here's the kicker. This apocalypse wasn't caused by a nuclear war, which was the big fear back in the 60s. No, this was something biological, the work of one single ambitious biologist, a man named Bertram Kabat Jr. With humanity's fate completely sealed, these last survivors have been clinging to one final, desperate hope. Their plan isn't to fix their present. It's to erase their past. You see, the survivors know every single detail of this guy's life. He is the architect of their doom. That one single point in history that, if they could just change it, could save all of humanity. The astronaut, who now calls himself Andrew, agrees to take one of the mutants back with him through the time warp. Their mission is as simple as it is brutal. Find Bertram Kabat Jr. and stop him from ever existing, no matter what it takes. But the strain of time travel, it's just too much for the mutant. As he's dying, he gives Andrew his final chilling instruction. Find Kabat. Find him. Kill him if you have to, but kill Kabat. So Andrew makes it back to 1963 all by himself. He takes on the identity of a Professor Andrew and checks into a boarding house to start his search. But right away, the mission hits a major temporal snag. He starts asking around, looking for Bertram Kabat Jr., but he quickly learns he's not at the local university. The landlady thinks he joined the army, but that's not even the real problem here. So Andrew is talking to this young woman, Noel Anderson, about her fiancé, and that's when it hits him. It's a catastrophic mistake. She's engaged to, wait for it, Bert Kabat Sr., the guy who dooms the world, the architect of the entire apocalypse. He hasn't even been conceived yet. Andrew has arrived way too early. This whole paradox just turns his mission completely on its head. I mean, how do you kill a man who doesn't even exist? And while he's trying to figure this out, his mission gets complicated by a deeply human connection. He finds himself getting drawn to Noel Anderson, the very woman whose future child he was sent back in time to eliminate. All of a sudden, his target isn't just some abstract name anymore. It's the unborn son of a woman he's actually starting to care about. In a desperate move, Andrew confronts Noel's fiancé, Bert Kabat Sr., and pleads with him not to go through with the wedding. But his cryptic warnings about saving the children of the world, they just sound like the ravings of a complete madman. His warnings, of course, they fail. The wedding day arrives. But here's the thing. Noel has also developed feelings for Andrew, and he realizes there's only one way left to stop the future. He has to tell her the terrifying truth. So he shows her his true, mutated form, a living product of the world her son is going to create. He explains everything, that he's from that dark future, and that he was sent back on a mission to prevent her from ever having that child. So now she's facing this impossible choice. Follow the path that's laid out for her and become the mother of the man who destroys the world, or abandon her entire life and take a leap of faith into the unknown with Andrew. In this incredible act of love and trust, she chooses him. Together, they race to Andrew's time machine. They're hoping to travel to a new, better future that they've just created. But what they don't realize is that their selfless choice is about to trigger the ultimate paradox. See, because Noel chose not to marry Bert Kabat Sr., their son, Bertram Jr., will now never be born. That means the deadly microbe will never be created. The desolate, apocalyptic world of 2148 is simply erased from existence. And this is where the real mind-bending paradox kicks in. In this new, hopeful timeline, there was no apocalypse, which means there was no mutated humanity. And if there was no mutated humanity, there was absolutely no reason for Android to ever have been sent back in time in the first place. So as they travel forward into this brand new future, he just fades away. The story ends with this really powerful idea, captured perfectly by the closing narration. Just like moving a single tiny pebble can change an entire beach, a single act of selfless love was enough to change the entire future of humanity. And this leaves us with a final, really thought-provoking idea. The story suggests that maybe destiny isn't some fixed road we're all on. Maybe it's more like a fluid path that's shaped by our human connections. And maybe the most powerful force for change isn't a weapon or a machine, but a single choice made out of love.